everybody. I really wanted to do my carnivore journey story, but I also really wanted to play No Man's Sky. So I figured I would multitask because as good carnivores, we have lots of energy and we want to multitask. So anyway, so my carnivore journey started 2022 at Thanksgiving, which I'm almost at my 2-year mark. Oh, goody. I got some kind of achievement. But it really literally started on Thanksgiving Day. So on Thanksgiving Day, I had cooked my ass off, of course, because I do all the cooking and not so much of the eating. But I had made all kinds of crap for people that I couldn't eat, that everybody else likes to eat. I'm a pretty good cook. I can cook all kind of stuff. That was kind of hard too, is, being used to like making recipes and stuff and not being able to do that anymore. Or I mean, I can do it for them, but not for myself, which kind of sucks. So I had cooked all day, and my hip, like the front part of my hips, like the bones, and it felt like the bone of my hip all the way down to my knee, it was just hurting like crazy, and it was so bad. The hip part radiated, so it felt like something was like terribly wrong in there, and it scared me because I didn't know what was going on, but I thought it was bad. Maybe it was a kidney stone. I didn't know. So my sister was nice enough to go to the emergency room. That tells you how bad it was. Went to the emergency room with me on Thanksgiving. I mean, that was god awful, and we waited and waited and waited for hours to be seen. And then when I was seen, they did a bunch of really expensive tests, CT scan and some other stuff, a bunch of lab tests. And I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited for the results of that. And then in the end, it turned out that they didn't freaking know what was going on. They had no clue. And the doctor, who looked like, I don't know, Doogie Howser's younger brother, said, well, maybe it's a nerve. A nerve? So I got really mad, and he offered me a steroid. The steroid did work, by the way, but I mean, steroids are god awful. So I'm like really pissed off because I wanted to know why. I wanted to know why I hurt so bad I had to go to the ER on freaking Thanksgiving and waste everybody's time, waste my sister's time, waste my time. Just be in that miserable environment. So, oh my God, what is my ship doing? So I was pretty angry, and it was just, I don't know. People say, well, you just need to get used to being old and broken and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I was like, I was 55. What the hell? That's not, the human body's not supposed to poop out that soon. So I started looking into, I had been ketovore before that. Okay. So this is kind of about my carniversary. So I started with 2022 Thanksgiving. But even before that, I had lost about 70 pounds on the keto diet, but I was doing mainly clean keto for most of that weight loss because I gained a bunch of weight before. But I got really mad because I don't know, it didn't make any sense why all of a sudden this would just happen like that. And he had mentioned inflammation too, and I'd wanted to know why I actually thought in my head, like, why do I have this inflammation? And I had worked in pharmaceuticals, and before that I worked in hospitals. I first got a degree in medical technology years ago and worked in clinical laboratories, and then I went into pharmaceuticals. So I had a lot of knowledge about biological systems, and then the drugs that actually work on us, different kinds of all different kinds of drugs. And so I knew a lot about just, chemistry in general. And so I was like, why is all this crap in the food? And I had always wondered, like, or secretly suspected that all of this junk that they put in the food was causing all these problems. So that's just a little bit of background. But I started looking on YouTube, of course, because that's where everybody looks for information nowadays. And I got the usual suspects. I got Chafee and Sean Baker and Dr. Berry. And I don't know who was first, but I started listening to the fact that, if you eat, do the elimination diet, basically, that you can find out what the heck is causing you to be so miserable. And a light bulb went on, and I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I think of this sooner? Why didn't this occur to me? Somebody with all of that insider information about drugs and all this other stuff, drugs and biological systems, and I knew all the lab tests and did all the things, and it didn't occur to me. It really didn't occur to me, But I would honestly look at a label and go, I know what that crap is. That's not good. Like, I don't think I should be eating that. But then everybody, it was acceptable, and everybody does it, and you have the old, surely they wouldn't put it in the food if it wasn't, if it was bad for you or whatever. But I started to get wise to it. So I went carnivore, and that, when I say carnivore, I mean like beef, salt, and water, just like Michaela Peterson did. And within 3 days, I had no more problems with what was later told to me that it was my IT band that was inflamed or whatever. But 3 days, that was gone. Not only that, but after I have 2 children. They're 20 and 20, or they're going to be 20. One's going to be 20, and the other one just turned 22. And after they were born, I had the most horrible lower back pain that I thought I was gonna have to live with for the rest of my life, because it just would not go away, no matter what. Every day that I woke up, I knew I had to deal with it, and it didn't cause me to be like handicapped or anything. Like, I wasn't, it wasn't that bad, but it was just torturously annoying, I guess. Just every day I knew I was going to suffer from back pain, and I was taking ibuprofen or whatever. And then I also had they had diagnosed me because I had weird joint pain, all kinds of weird stuff, which is associated with like having, they try to say it's like hormonal and that kind of thing, which there's some legitimacy to that, because if you don't eat fat, you're not going to be able to make your hormones, because fat is what the hormone you have to have for the hormones to, you have proper hormones in your body. So, I just, I had what was it, fibromyalgia is what they diagnosed me with, which I've got my thoughts on that. I might do a video on what I think about fibromyalgia and its origins and the whole diagnosis code scam or whatever. But that, literally, like, you're tender to touch. Like, if somebody pokes you or whatever, you're super sensitive, and it feels like a lot of nerve pain all over your body. So that was something else that was going on, in addition to the lower back pain. And the only thing I could do is they put me on a drug called tramadol. And it's not the hardest of drugs. It's not something that people take to get high or whatever. I mean, not traditionally speaking. Like, when I took it, it didn't give me, it gave me pain relief, but nothing else. Like, it didn't make me drunk or weird or druggy or anything like that. But, and it worked really well, but it was a drug that's harmful to your body. I mean, it's your body's being degraded. So You know, I took the drug for years and years and years and years. I mean, years and years. And the thing about that is that, you know, all of these drugs that they're giving people, you're not supposed to take these things for like your entire life. It's not supposed to be perpetual or something. But they do. They give it to you for like forever. And it's like, even if the literature says that you shouldn't take it, they give it to you anyway. They just keep prescribing it to you. And that to me, it seems like that's shady, right? But it's all I could do because nothing would work. And I even exercised when I was taking all this stuff. I mean, I exercised and I tried to eat as good as possible. I mean, I tried to basically do a keto type of diet because years ago I had done Atkins or whatever, and I used to weight lift and all those kind of things when I was in my 30s. But about backing up a little bit, so and the keto stuff never really got rid of the back pain and the fibromyalgia, you know, stuff or related like pains. But 3 days of carnivore, and when I started doing that in 2022 because of that ER trip, 3 days it went away. Even the 3 to 5 days or something like that was the back pain was gone. And there's a lot of other things that happen too. Not only that, but I had recently, I'd say a month or two before I had gone to the ER, been to the dentist, and I had to have a lot of shots in my gum, and it was a lot of gum, like tissue trauma, and it was really painful. And so I took a whole bunch of ibuprofen for that. And that ripped my stomach to shreds. And it just shows you that, you know, over time, all these things catch up. Because when I was younger, I took ibuprofen a lot of the time, and I never had a problem with it. But, you know, over time, it just erodes. So it felt like I had like a horrible ulcer. I had radiating pain in the center of my chest. Felt like a heart attack or something, which, I mean, you know, it's like, you can tell, you know, it's like indigestion or whatever, just horrible indigestion or some kind of ulcer form, and I don't know which. And so I cannot, to this day, I cannot take ibuprofen. It'll immediately tear my stomach up. But what does this guy want? What? Ugh, I don't care about that. I was on my way, buddy. Get out of my way. I was taking ibuprofen, a lot of it, and that stomach issue started to develop. The pain in my stomach and the pain in the center of my chest, like with the heartburn and stuff. And that was something I had to go. I went to the doctor, and they gave me pantoprazole, which is a proton pump inhibitor, which keeps you from secreting acid in your stomach, which that sounds like a really good idea, right? But, you know, it worked some, but I started reading it. I was looking into it, and I'm like, you know, this stuff is not supposed to be used, but like for a short amount of time, and they're prescribed. I know people who've been on it for 10 years. I mean, what in the hell is that doing to their system? I can't even imagine. So when I went carnivore, and this is months before I went carnivore. I went carnivore. I do not ever have this problem anymore, and it went away very quickly after I went carnivore, unless I eat something chemically or stupid, which I've never really cheated bad or anything. Like, you know, most people would consider, like, you know, falling off the wagon. But, you know, I have had, like, one of the things I've done is, like, if I eat because I've been away from processed stuff for so long, I'm more sensitive to it. Because some people could eat this and not have a problem. But if I eat a hot dog, I ate a hot dog once, and I was like, oh, I want a hot dog, I just want something different. And it did bother me and gave me a slight case of indigestion. And I believe it's because of the stuff in it. Like if you look some hot dogs, like they put corn syrup in. I mean, they put a bunch of weird stuff. So if it's a hot dog with a bunch of weird stuff in it in particular, it's going to make me have problems with like indigestion. So, but outside of that, I mean, I have not had any issues at all with the indigestion. And the indigestion was making me miserable. I mean, absolutely miserable. So that was a really, really welcome benefit. In addition to that, my sleeping had been historically like, I didn't have like, most of the time I didn't have god awful insomnia, but I would be up later, just not really looking forward to going to sleep because I would have a hard time going to sleep. I'd roll around, I'd wake up, and all this kind of stuff. And so I avoided bedtime kind of thing, and that's not good because you're supposed to go to bed at a certain time of night and get enough sleep, and that's part of like health. If you're not doing that, you're not going to be healthy. So I wasn't really healthy in that respect. And when I would go to bed after Carnivore, or I'd be awake at like 10:30. Oh my God. So I started getting transmissions to power down from somewhere, and like 10:30, 11, I would pass out wherever I was standing. Like if I was sitting in this chair, I was going down. I was going to sleep no matter what. So it's like time to go to the bed because you are literally, you're going to pass out no matter, where you're at. So, and when I went to bed, not only did I just go to sleep immediately, but I would wake up without an alarm clock at 5 a.m. on the dot. Just 5 a.m. every morning, 5 a.m., 5 a.m. Unless I like stay up, the only thing, when I do something stupid, like, binge a bunch of Netflix shows or something, and you stay up till like 4 o'clock in the morning or something because you can't stop watching stuff. If I do that, then I'll sleep later, obviously, because my body needs more sleep. But it's amazing how your body does what it needs. It knows what it needs, and it does what it's supposed to do. I don't think I've ever, that's another thing, I don't think I've ever experienced my body working correctly in my entire life. Like, because I've never given it a proper human diet. And now that I am, it's like, it's really, it's just amazing to me, the functionality that's included with the human body, that once you give it what it needs, it really is, it really is great. So the sleeping thing was a really good, welcome treat. Also, I had problems with, at times I had problems with, like, it wasn't irritable bowel, but it was just like, just dysfunction with, digestion and things like that. And I didn't have any problems after that. Now, I will give anybody that's thinking about being a new carnivore a warning, is that you can have, a lot of people have this problem in the first, I don't know, weeks, months. Oh, goody. Which one did I get? A Rambler. Okay. But weeks, months following a transition into carnivore, especially if it's a very rapid transition from, standard American crap hole diet to, something clean, you are going to have your gut microbiome's going to kind of have to adjust. And you can have the most, oh my God, raging diarrhea. It can be really bad, but it is a process. It is your body like, changing or, adapting and healing. And a lot of people, when they start carnivore, like, I did lose a lot of weight. Like, I lost a lot of extra weight. I had lost most of my weight when I was on keto before, but I had gained some back because, when you're on keto, you always crap the bed later. Like, you always go, like, keto snacks and keto muffins and, almond flour cakes and crap like that. So, obviously, I did that, and you know, gained a bunch of weight back after the keto, after the initial loss. But, you know, I lost it pretty rapidly with Carnivore. The rest of it, you know, the rest of the weight, little bit of weight I gained back, you know, I lost it with Carnivore. But what I noticed after I did Carnivore, one of the things you can, this when it comes to weight loss, one of the things that you can have, because it's like an animal product, is heavy cream. Now, I eat a lot of butter, but heavy cream in particular, I believe it has a compound called casomorphin in it, and that's something that's in cheese. And if you've ever known a cheese addict, you know, I've literally known people who are honestly addicted to cheese. And they just keep eating it and they can't stop eating it. But that's the casomorphins, I think, that are responsible for that. People just really getting hot on cheese. But it does have the casomorphins in it. And I would recognize that I was like really looking forward to my coffee in the morning. And it's not so much the coffee. I was wanting to suck down a bunch of heavy cream. And I wasn't even really measuring it all that much. But I wasn't drinking cups full or anything a day. But what I noticed is that I just felt like I was addicted to it. And I want to get rid of anything that I feel like I'm addicted to. That's why I want to get rid of coffee, you know, sooner or later. I'm not rushing myself on it. Because I do cheat. I am a cheater pumpkin eater when it comes to the Carnivore. But I am a coffee and diluted tea drinker. But not to tremendous amounts, and I'm just phasing it out. But I was drinking all of that cream in the coffee, and I realized that I was craving it, so I phased it out, and literally, I think it was like it's been like 2 to 3 weeks, because this has been fairly recent. I lost 12 pounds. Like, I think it was about 2.5 weeks or something like that. I lost 12 freaking pounds. And that was just from cutting out heavy cream. So if you're trying to lose weight on Carnivore and you're drinking heavy cream, it is not your friend. I promise. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're not, then now it does have crap in it. Like, I was reading some of the ingredients in it, and it's kind of scary. So I'm like, ugh, you know, why does everything have to be tainted? And everything is tainted. Seems like they do sell a heavy cream that's like just heavy cream and nothing else. And it doesn't have preservatives in it. It goes bad really quickly, but you can get it at like Earth Fare and places like that. And it is really good, but again, I was still going to crave it, you know. So I went off of that and lost an additional 12 pounds. And like I said before, with keto, I had lost like 70 or here and there, 70 or 80, 80-ish pounds originally with the you know, keto diet. But, you know, the energy levels I have are amazing. I don't have the pain that I was having before. Like I said, the sleep is amazing. I don't eat, like I eat once a day. Like I'm OMAD, but in the evenings. And I don't miss it at all. Like I feel if I eat during the day, I feel kind of weird, and because if you're a carnivore and you eat when you're not hungry, it's going to make you feel bad. Because first of all, your ghrelin the ghrelin response is appropriate that tells you when you're full. So if you try to overeat when you're eating proper food, it's going to make you feel kind of sick, or you're not going to want to eat, you know, when you're not hungry. So I do not want to eat when what I've also realized is that a lot of people say that, oh, I'm hungry, but they really don't, they're not, because they really don't understand what that means, because here in America, like, we are buried in food. Everywhere we look, there's food everywhere. And we indulge way too much. So what I realized is, like, when I would think I was hungry in the past, and I'm like, well, am I really? You know, I'd have to ask myself. I'd stop and ask myself. And when I asked myself that question, the answer was no. Most of the time I was not hungry. But I've been going, doing the OMAD, and I got I actually got hungry the other day because I'm doing one meal a day, and I wasn't eating that much. I wasn't that hungry, so I would eat like a small, like tenderloin, which is very lean. And there's nobody coming to shoot me, I don't think. Okay. But it was very lean, so I mean it wasn't a lot, and I did that like 2 or 3 days in a row just because I didn't want anything else. And on the third day of kind of just not being that hungry at night, I was starving. Like, I was so hungry. I was really hungry, and I was like, wow, this is hunger. This is what hunger feels like. So I now know the difference, because a lot of people just don't know the difference. And a lot of people have never, my kids always like, I'm starving. I'm like, you wouldn't even know what that means. I feel like sending them to the Philippines for a while so they can understand what, or some place where, I say the Philippines because, I know somebody that has like a missionary there, like is a missionary or whatever over there, and runs an orphanage, and like, they have like certain parts of the day, certain times of the day, they don't have internet, or they don't have power. They have like I don't know if it's brownouts or exactly what it is, but like they have to learn to adapt to, things that we would go crazy over, and then they can't just. There's a lot of things that you can't get in certain places over there. Like one of the things that I thought was kind of crazy is they can't get they can't get cars shipped in or something, but they can get car parts. You know what I mean? Like they can get car parts to assemble a car. I don't know, it's something crazy, but here we just take everything for granted. That's just an example. It's kind of, I'm rambling, but it's just an example of how people, in America are like, in a lot of other Western countries, not just here, but take for granted all the conveniences. And the conveniences, honestly, to some degree, I think are part of the problem. Not that I don't enjoy my conveniences, because I do. But, I think that that's just why we don't know what the hunger actually is. Why we think, when we don't have exactly what we want to eat, that, that's a problem for us. So I realize that, now I know what hunger is, and I only eat when I'm hungry. And, I do like I said, I'm a cheater. I do the coffee. And I really want to get rid of that someday. And I think I can, because I never thought I'd be able to get rid of heavy cream because I just loved it so much. And I feel like my body was able to phase it out because, it starts to be more intelligent. I mean, your body, it's not like your addictions don't rule you anymore, because your body's gonna, you're gonna feel a certain way about certain foods, and you'll kind of eradicate them yourself, like naturally, just because of, you'll have an aversion to it, basically. I remember when I used to try to smoke cigarettes. I think I got this from my mother. She was like, she would want cigarettes, and she would smoke cigarettes, and then they make her violently ill, like after about a couple of weeks, and she wouldn't be able to touch them. And I'm the same way. I do that with I've done that with other things. But I think it's kind of similar. It's a similar feeling, like with when you try to, I don't know. It's like I get an aversion to certain things that are bad for you. That I don't know, like certain foods. Like I can't keep eating things that are nasty, kind of thing. Like now, since I've been ketovore, like I really, if ever since I went, keto, I'd just call it ketovore kind of years ago. But it was dirty, like I was eating the, muffins and all that kind of stuff, and that's what made me fall off the wagon, or really, have a weight problem later. But, I would even, back then, if I would start to eat stuff that was too dirty, I would have to back off of it, because it would kind of make me, I'd be averse to it. So realizing that, I do not need to eat unless I'm, hungry, and I've lost even more weight. I was at a normal weight, but I really want to get back to, I was always thin growing up, and I want to get back to the size that I'm used to being. And it's not even really aesthetic, because I'm fine with the weight I am now, but it's just the fact that everybody says, well, you're never going to weigh the same as you did as a teenager. I'm like, why not? It's body fat. Why not? Like, and I'm not, and it's not even, like I said, it's not aesthetic. It's just, it's really the principle of the thing. You know, it's like, you know, people saying, well, you're old and you're going to have to feel like crap. That's a lie. You know, I don't see why I can't I be the weight I was when I was younger. You know, that's the weight I felt the best at. You know, I was very thin, but it's just, I don't know. I just like being that size. Just more, I don't know, light on my feet or whatever. But, you know, it's this whole idea that we're supposed to believe that the human body's supposed to shit the bed at like 50 something years old. That's stupid. I'm gonna get attacked if I can't get these. Oh, maybe I can. I think there's gonna be a sentinel coming after me in a minute. But ow. Oh, that hurts. Anyway, you bitch. Ugh. Okay, so anyhow, I'm having to run from these sentinels. Maybe I'll shoot them. But I just you know, what I was doing before was not living at all. You know, just eating myself into oblivion. That is no way to live. You know, that is no way to freaking live. And I just am not going to go back. And I really don't get how anybody, if you actually experience, you know, the benefits of this diet, or this way of life, I don't even want to call it a diet, because that's not what it is. But if you experience the benefits of it, get off of me. Sorry, I gotta flee. But if you experience the benefits of this diet, I don't see how people can just go back to eating the standard American diet. I mean, that's just, that's a fate worse than death. I mean, it really is. So that's my story, pretty much. I mean, it fixed a lot of problems with me, and I got benefits I didn't even realize, you know, that a lot of this other stuff was really torturous. I mean, that I never knew how good I could feel. You know, I burn ketones. I have high ketone levels most of the time. I'm 100% fat adapted. I have tons of energy. Oh, goody. It's just it's like I'm living again. So anyway, you know, share your story, or your you know, people who are carnivores, you know, share what you've found the most amazing benefit, or anything. I mean, anything that was, you know, a big change for you on carnivore, or if it didn't work, if it did work. I mean, I like to hear everybody's experiences, because this is a big deal. There's a lot of us out there, and if you're thinking about carnivore, definitely try it. And what do you got to lose? You know, it's food. A lot of this crap we've been eating is not food. We shouldn't put it in our mouth. And you know, if you try it, just try not eating the Franken foods and see what happens. You know, why not? You know, and another thing, like, part of the reason I started this channel, well, the only reason I started this channel is because, why am I taking out my fishing rod? I'm stupid. Hold on a minute. Part of the reason I started this is because, you know, I can't shut up. It's not possible for me to shut up. Like, I think somebody's going to gag me at work. Because when I go by anybody, they're talking about their, you know, they're falling apart and they've got this thing and that thing wrong with them, or there's people with diabetes and stuff. And I'm like, you know, what would fix that? And they look at me like I'm an idiot, like I'm part of a cult or something. And it's kind of, I'm like, you know, that's not very nice. Like, first of all, but to assume everybody, just because people are going against the status quo. I mean, how'd that work out for cigarette industry? When everybody, they were doing that. They were doing that. That when everybody was smoking cigarettes and all the doctors would come into the, to come see a patient and they had a freaking cigarette stuck in their mouth, that people were looking at them like they were crazy. I know they were. Because everything was fine. Oh, it's good for you. They actually prescribed smoking for anxiety. They prescribed cigarettes. And that's the thing is that, we have to remember history. Because history repeats on stupid shit like this. So, it's just happening all over again. It's just it's just not cigarettes this time. But you got the sugar industry, the food industry. I mean, you're talking about billions and billions of dollars. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. And then the food, big food feeds big pharma. And it feeds them patients. So... Anyway, I think I'm done for now. But if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section. And, like and subscribe if you like, or you want to subscribe. So it's been really nice talking to you, and I will see you later. Bye.